into it about 5.5 hours now. So I'm like, oh. Not what I want to do with my Saturday morning from 3 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Thought, well, when the sun comes up, I'm going home, but as y'all can see, it's a coming up. So with that being said, I might be bolting from here. We're about halfway through our pour. Martin Marietta just informed me that we may not get our full allotment today, which is fine because we stole this concrete from somebody else. It was a diverted allotment. I think they may have got ours on Thursday. Thanks to Fort Worth inspectors' lackadaisical inability to maintain a schedule. We did that, we'd be out of a job. But they're the city. Their motto is, we don't care, we don't have to. Whoosh. It is 8:30 in the morning. It's already friggin' getting gnarly, humid, and hot. So, yeah, I should be on the lake or playing guitar or hanging out by the pool or some cool shit today. Instead, yeah, I'm at work, and then I'm probably going to go home and sleep because I haven't slept for 2 days. Spent the last 2 days at the hospital. Got friends, family, and loved ones that have been in and out of the hospital. Jeez, man, this year has been really bad for, people having health issues. So a while back, while we're talking about health issues, I was going to the doctor a lot, and didn't have anything to do with health issues. I was in the hospital for emergency surgery in January 2021, but all the rest of the year I didn't really have much. But at the beginning of this year, I got this stupendously, ridiculously, galactically large deductible on my insurance. I'm getting rid of it. But while I've got it, I had a couple of surgeries that wiped it out pretty freaking quick. I had a scope on my heart. They that little hole right there. They went in there with the camera and was poking around in my heart, looking at all my arteries and ventricles, and it was, I could feel it. I was awake. It was wild. But they were checking my heart, man, and my heart's perfectly healthy. I had a couple of MRIs, like a full body MRI and a chest X-ray, chest MRI. Because for a while there, I was having like breathing problems for, I don't know, a year, maybe longer. But I thought for sure, man, it's going to be a tumor. There's going to be a spot on my lung. I got lung cancer or some shit. COPD or scarring at the very least. And they x-rayed my chest, and they went in and scoped my chest, and I'm perfectly healthy. They said they've seen people that smoked 5 years that had health, that had their lungs were worse than mine. Mine looked healthier than that. So I don't know how the hell that's even possible. But yeah, they said I was fine. I'm like, holy cow, all these breathing problems. I had COVID a couple times. I had a bunch of upper respiratory infections over the last couple of years. So I quit smoking and started smoking these like vegan cigarettes. I call them vegan. They have no chemicals, and they're just tobacco only. No chemicals, no preservatives, no nothing in it. And then I kind of slowly tapered off to nothing. So I started this diet, broken heart, broken fucking diet, getting all my health issues straightened out. So that's what all my trips to the doctor, my trips in the hospital were for like the first 6 months of this year. And then I tore a muscle. I've got this muscle right here is ripped sideways here, and there's like a football tearing it down here, and like big old spots of pooled blood like in my arm. It looked bad. It looked like I had big giant bruises, like I've been shot with like what do you call them, a beanbag. Yeah, it was bad. I thought when it first popped, I thought I broke my arm. I was like, literally, I couldn't move my arm. I had to be in a sling for like 3 weeks. I could use my fingers, but I couldn't move my wrist or up it. I couldn't do anything with my arm. I ripped it pushing a 500-pound steel frame it was falling, and I was kind of standing awkward on a bumper, and I was fixing to step down when it started falling backwards. I'm like, shit. So I just reached up and I pushed up as hard as I can, and my hand was backwards when I did it, and I just pushed up with all my might and tore this bicep and tore this muscle here. This one's torn lengthwise. This was torn straight across. It just like ripped the I guess there's fibers in the muscle. It ripped those fibers like virtually in a straight line right here. It just tore them apart. And it was a pop, like a loud pop. I thought the bone snapped. My whole body just got electrocuted instantly. And then I managed to push the sign back where the big steel frame, it's a sign frame. I pushed it back so nobody got hurt and my truck didn't get smashed. And but man, I was injured. So sometime this year, like in the next 4 to 5 months, I've got to go have surgery on my arm. So get that repaired. But all these other trips to the hospital were just exploratory updates. All my trips to the doctor was to get all my health stuff checked out, and basic physicals, colon, TAM, prostate, all that glamorous shit we go through at 40, 50. I've been putting that shit off for 17 years. I haven't been to the doctor, and I really haven't had any health problems. Last time I had the flu or anything was in 2017. And this guy I worked with, he just fist bumped people. He never shook hands. He was a germaphobe. And I'm kind of a germaphobe. I mean, I've got hand sanitizer on my desk and Lysol here in the truck, at my office, on my desk at home. I'm constantly disinfecting shit. I'm a cluttery person, but at work, at work, everything's like nice, neat, and organized. At home, I'm kind of like, here's a bill. I've got some files that I just keep stacking shit in there, and then when I pay them, I don't throw them away like I should. But other than that, man, I'm like a germaphobe. Everything's gonna be wiped down and clean, and I'm just really weird about mold and mildew and just dirty shit. Just in generally gives me the woolies. And so for like 7 years, I lived with people who didn't give a fuck. So I was like constantly going, oh, it really fucked with my OCD and my germophobia. So. Even before the COVID thing, I had hand sanitizer everywhere. And so I was just like really freaked out that, all these upper respiratory infections were really bugging me. And after I've had all this stuff checked out, there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. So I'm thinking, was it in my head? Was I hypochondriac? Did I just have upper respiratory infections? And I thought there were more. It's still a mystery because I got healed up from all that shit that went away. So there's no telling what I had or where it came from. I just had like sinus infections, upper respiratory infection, coughing. But I wake up in the middle of the night like I couldn't breathe, and I was doing these breathing treatments. The minute they x-rayed my lungs, it told me, yeah, your x-ray's clear. There's no cancer, no scarring, no COPD. You got nothing. Your lungs look fine. It went away. It stopped. I stopped doing breathing treatments. I don't do anything now. I'm perfectly healthy. So I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, that was all psychosomatic, or it was something else that was minor that I just thought was something bad. But regardless, I'm healthy. I'm going to live. I've been on a diet. I quit smoking, cut down on my smoking. I went from like pack a day to a cigarette a day. And that was, I don't have the nicotine thing. I got the mechanical thing, or if I'm just bored. And so like now I'm eating corn nuts instead of smoking cigarettes, which is cool because a bag of corn nuts is like 170 calories. And basically you couldn't live off of it. But, I just constantly eating almonds and wasabi peas. This is another thing. These things are like, there's a bomb. If you like hot shit, yeah. I sit around and I just snack on these all day. And then I eat the same thing every day for going like 4 or 5 months now. So a diet isn't healthier. It just makes you wish you were dead. Yeah, it's just enough calories to make me starve to death slowly. But you see what I do on the weekends. I got to have big, thick salmon steaks and tomahawk steaks. And I go all out on the weekends. I'm like, forget the diet. I need 3 pounds of dead cow. Give it to me. A rack of pork ribs or something. I am. On the weekends, I seafood out, steak out, pork out. And that's part of, I guess what I'm doing is I'm eating in moderation. I'm not constantly eating. I'm not eating several meals a day. I'm eating nothing during the day. I cut out breakfast, cup of coffee, cut out sweet, cut way down on my sweeteners, took the flavorings out of my coffee. Yesterday I had a white chocolate mocha venti from Starbucks, and I haven't had a coffee with a sweetener in it, like a flavoring, like French vanilla or anything. I haven't had that in like 4 or 5 months. So I was drinking that. I was like, oh yeah, oh, it was like nectar of the gods, sweet taste of home. Oh, it was a one-day splurge, and then today I went back to the coffee with no sweetener. I'm like, oh, this is like torture. I like things to be. I want my coffee to be liquid candy, and I haven't done that in months. And I mean, I didn't drink coffee till I was probably like 40, 45 years old. And I was pretty old. I was old when I started smoking. I was old when I started drinking coffee. When I was young, I was healthy as hell. I would sleep with the window open. I eat like raw egg and oatmeal every freaking morning for breakfast. And I could fucking hit out at a dead run and go 5 miles without stopping. Shit, now I can't even walk to the freaking mailbox without being winded. Say 6 months ago, I could not run. I could probably run 100 fucking feet. Right now, all my clothes are falling off of me. I don't notice that I'm losing any weight. To me, it doesn't look any different. But I'm down to a weight now that I can start exercising. And the next phase of my new me that I'm way behind on, I should be done with this by October. I ain't gonna make it in 60 days, 90 days. It ain't gonna happen. But I'm down to a weight now where I feel comfortable getting back to exercising. I don't want to lift weights. I just want to get unround. I mean, I'm not fat, but I'm not happy with the shape I'm in. I want to be better. I want to get back to where I was, say, 7 years ago. About between. There's no way I'm going back to 180 pounds, but like around 200, 205, 210, I'm pretty comfortable there. If I can go back to 180, people freak the fuck out. I went from 210 to 180 right before my daughter was born, and everybody's like, are you on drugs? Are you sick? Are you okay? Are you anemic? I'm like, Jesus Christ, I dropped 20 pounds, and everybody freaked the fuck out. And not that I give a shit what anybody thinks, but I feel... Man, my optimum weight for like athleticism is, between 175 and 190. That was my athletic weight. And I had like 0 body fat and all muscle at that point too. And at 6 foot, 6'1", I look skinny as hell when I'm at that weight. At 205, 210, I look like a big guy. It's kind of weird how that little 20-pound break works there. But once I get to 220 and up, I just look like a fat bastard. I don't know. I freaking that's where the shape and shit happens. So like from 200 to 210, I look big, and from 200 under, I look skinny, and from 220 up, I just look like a fat fuck. So my goal is to ditch these 30 pounds and get under that 220, because I'm like hovering right around 236 to 245. I was at 249 at one point. I'm like, holy shit! If I break 250, I'm gonna be pissed. So that's where I started the diet at like 248, 249 at the doctor's office. I dropped 5 pounds the first month, but I'd only dieted like 2 or 3 weeks. The second month I dropped 10 pounds, so I was down 15. Third month I was back up 5 pounds. So right now I'm down right about 20 pounds from where I started, but still not good. And I don't see it. When I look at me, I'm like, holy shit, this is bad. But everybody else says, oh yeah, it looks good. And then I put my clothes on, my pants and shit are starting to falling off. Now I just need to exercise and get the shape shit back. But anyway, that kind of got off on a rant from fuck, I hate working Saturdays to damn, I'm fat and here's what I'm doing about it. But anyway, that's where we are. I'm delirious because I hadn't slept in 2 days. Woo! Town Talk Food's on. I gotta go mess with that guy. I always tell him, where's the meat? There's prices on this. And he's like, oh, Toby, here. He's pretty cool because he's very interactive with his videos. But hey, Town Talk Groceries over on, is it on Belknap Beach? I forget. I think it's on Belknap. I've been shopping there since I was like 16 years old and really poor. And now that I'm not poor, I still shop there because I'm cheap. And they got good prices, but they really got good stuff too. Bunch of miscuts and restaurant overstock and stuff, grocery overstock. It's good food, and it's like discounted price. It's kind of like shopping at Ross. You get Tommy Hilfiger for half price, or Pierre Cardin for a third, 16% off, shit like that. So it's a good deal. But anyway, I'm gonna go there and mess with them on their live video on Facebook. Y'all be good to one another. Pay it forward. Hasta la fiesta, y'all. Have a good weekend. I'll see y'all Monday.